There's a special shout out for Lexi Smith and Millie Newton for leaving positive and supportive comments every time. Months after this child received a devastating diagnosis, she reached an emotional milestone and uplifted lives. Parents always wish their children the best and start worrying about their health all the time when they show the first signs of getting sick. Every mom and dad wants their kid to grow up without any serious diseases. Unfortunately, this would not be the case for Al and Erin Harris, a couple living in Kansas. In July 2016, their toddler was diagnosed with a devastating illness. The little girl was strong enough to overcome it and reached a growth milestone in January 2018. Yet, not everything is as good as the Harrises desire it to be. Al and Erin are proud to be the parents of 4 beautiful children: Kane, 13, Roan, 12, Blythe, 7, and little Teague, who's just 4. 42-year-old Erin is an emergency room nurse with over 10 years of experience in this devoted vocation. 44-year-old Al is a computer scientist who is going to start the job of his dreams in Illinois in the summer of 2016. However, life had its own plans for this caring family. Teague's left ear started to bleed when the family was walking around Home Depot one day in July. The parents quickly booked an appointment with a doctor to find out the reason for such a terrifying thing. A medical professional told him it was a nasty ear infection, so Teague was scheduled for an operation on July 19, 2016, at the Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas. It was just 30 minutes long, nothing serious or super difficult. The procedure was supposed to take 30 minutes, but just 6 minutes later they came to get us, the father recalled on NBC's Today Show in January 2018. My wife, who's an emergency room nurse, knew it was a bad sign, and when we got in there were 2 doctors waiting for us, and that was a really bad sign. During the operation, the doctors found a cancerous mass on the left side of Teague's face. It was called rhabdomyosarcoma, a rare yet really difficult form of cancer that strikes the soft connecting tissues and muscles. It is usually discovered in the head, neck, leg, and arms. Unfortunately, Teague's rhabdomyosarcoma affected her nasal cavity in the left ear, as it was deeply rooted into the bone of her left cheek and jaw muscles. It was really close to the girl's brain, but luckily, it didn't spread that fast to affect it. Less luckily, the doctors said they can't remove the rhabdomyosarcoma due to its awkward location. Instead, they gave Al and Erin hope that the treatment of a year will completely clear the cancer. Thus, Teague's radio and chemotherapy courses started straight away. The news and the treatment were an emotional roller coaster for the whole family. It's pretty hard to watch your child go through that, they recalled to the Today Show audience. I remember when her hair started falling out because of the chemotherapy. No matter how much I read, no matter how much I prepared, I wasn't ready to watch her eyebrows fall out. Erin described in detail what her little daughter was going through on a crowdfunding website. In July 2016, she created a GoFundMe page to help raise money for little girl's treatment as it was really expensive. Teague requires round-the-clock treatment, the mom said. She has a Mediport in her chest for chemo and IV medicines. A Mediport is an access point below the skin that has a tube running directly into the heart. Erin continued, Teague also has a MIC key button feeding tube in her stomach for medicines and tube feedings since she eats very little. She has almost daily doctor's appointments for either radiation or chemotherapy, and sometimes both. It seemed like this disaster turned the couple's life upside down. The woman went on, because of the special needs, Teague can't go to daycare or have a normal babysitter. One of us has to be home with her at all times. In September 2016, after 8 weeks of radiotherapy, Al wrote about Teague's progress on their website. He said that radiotherapy was now over and added the girl will have face chemotherapy sessions over the next 12 months. However, their battle continued up to 2017. Luckily, the Harrises finally got some good news later that year. In July 2017, the little girl finally had her last round of chemotherapy and was declared cured that November. Now, Teague's hair started growing back, and in January 2018, the girl was ready for her first visit to the hairstylist. A remarkable step for everyone who is cured of cancer. Yet for Erin and Al is for something even more. Later, Erin revealed on the ABC-affiliated local Kansas City channel KMBC,
she was diagnosed when she was 2 years old, and so she never got her first haircut.
Teague courageously battled cancer for over a year.
With her type of cancer, we were worried that her odds were not as good.
Having her hair grow back and seeing her healthy is really important.
And getting her first haircut and kind of getting her on the road to being well was a big deal for us.
However, unfortunately, her fight might not be over yet. The doctors said there's still a 45% chance cancer might come back in a mutated form later. This fact can't let the girl's parents live happily and easily. Even such a bright occasion as the first haircut can't win over these dark thoughts. It's a mixed feeling, Al told the Today Show. We're happy because she's happy and she's recovered, but it brings back a lot of bad memories. I frequently think, what if this is the last year? And even as I'm watching the haircut, in the back of my mind the thoughts linger. It's a thing that clouds over you. This is not the only fear Teague's parents have to live with. The huge dose of radiation affected the overall immune system of such a tiny girl. The problem is our aggressive treatment did massive damage to her, Al admitted. Her back teeth were rotted away by radiation and those were permanent teeth, so we put in caps. Radiation also killed her cheekbones, so we have to decide how much asymmetry is okay versus how many surgeries are we gonna have to put her through. Al continued to the Today Show viewers. Her pituitary gland was also damaged, which affects her growth. We have to decide how much we want her to grow versus how much plastic surgery do we want to put her through. However, despite all these problems, the Harrises found time and effort to pay attention to the global problem they faced. They figured out that only 4% of America's cancer research resources study the disease in children, and there are thousands of kids suffering from this devastating illness. So nowadays, the Harrises are trying to raise people's concern and awareness around this tragic issue and make a difference. Al and Aaron decided to invite the media to celebrate their daughter's first haircut, and Al seized this opportunity to make a claim regarding his daughter's treatment.
Children's cancer for rhabdomyosarcoma, which is what Teague had, the newest drug we had was about 45 years old.
While Teague's parents carry on with their fight, the little girl simply enjoys her new and first haircut. When she sat in their chair, her parents gave her a piece of advice and agreed on it. Teague wanted her head shaved to look like she did during chemo. She doesn't remember having hair, Al said on the Today Show. We told her, let's try a pixie cut first.